Your 2016 Heroes Among Us Public Safety Category recipients, Captain Don Eggleston and Officer Ryan Wegner of the Waverly Police Department.
It was a normal morning. They were out on patrol, and I was sitting in the office doing administrative work, and we heard the call. It went over the radio, and I heard it on portable that there was a call-in of a house fire, and actually the resident called in that she was trapped and had already been burned badly on her arms and legs and couldn't get out because the smoke was too thick. You know, in 27 years of law enforcement, I've never had or heard a call in which someone trapped inside was saying that they were trapped and had already been burned badly. So it added a degree of severity to the call.
Yeah, I was actually at another call at our middle school and heard the call come out and basically had to cut it off. Same thing, you know, we've had house fires or fires before, but nothing where you knew somebody was inside. You know it's life or death, and that's one of those things where cut it off and you just go.
It was just a couple minutes, and I had arrived at the scene, and we knew that the female was trapped inside, and we could see the smoke coming off of the south side of the residence pretty thick, and it was starting to, it looked like things were starting to increase, and that's when him and I went in and made entry, and we immediately entered darkness. It was that thick that we just couldn't see anything.
I don't even really know how to describe it. It was black. You couldn't see anything. So
it was a black wall.
Yeah.
Once we got down on the floor, we had about an 8-inch gap between the floor and the smoke that we could actually start to see several feet in front of us. So we started going into the house and yelling to the resident, and we could hear her in the back, but not being familiar with the floor plan. We didn't know where the walls were, we didn't know where the doors were. Clearly we could hear her screaming out, so we tried to get her to come to us. And she said that she couldn't walk, she was hurt too bad. We realized we were kind of at a stalemate, so to speak. She wouldn't come to us, we couldn't see anything further. At that point I just jumped up and ran towards her voice, hoping I wasn't gonna slam into a wall or something.
I saw him get up, grab something off the floor, put it over his mouth, and at that point I'm like, well, he's getting up, I gotta do something. So he gets up and I took off after him, but I didn't get as far as he did before I met him. I mean,
once I broke through the smoke, that's when I encountered the victim there, and she was on the bed, and I could see through the smoke just how bad her burns were on her legs and her arms and her hair, and I knew she was in bad shape. So there was no special fireman's carry, there was nothing at that point. I was holding my breath and running out of air, so I grabbed her by the wrist and pulled her off the bed and started going backwards with her, and Ryan helped me and grabbed her, and then we just started kicking furniture out of the way, doing everything we could to just go back towards the door. And I think we were there 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This all took place.
It went fast, but it seemed a lot longer. It felt like
Several
we were in there
minutes.
5-10 minutes. It really did. It just...
When you're on the floor and you're trying to reach somebody, and it's like you know that the barrier is there, time really slows down because it feels like you're not moving fast enough, you're not getting to her fast enough. Last I heard, her daughter had actually sent a video to me on Facebook thanking Ryan and I for the job that we had done, and she wanted to assure us that in her eyes that we were heroes, and she appreciated what we did for her mom.
And we don't view ourselves that way. We're doing our jobs, and I think, you know, do we appreciate it? Absolutely. I mean, it is nice, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where we're just doing what we signed up for.
Had it been any other officers that were ahead of us, they would have done the exact same thing. I have no doubt in my mind.
Don Eggleston and Ryan Wegner, your 2016 Public Safety Heroes Among Us.